that they were supposedly adding new members to Bullet Club Black and Gold. And it appears that those two members might be the Ass Boys.
Interesting.
So they have.
I think it's a great idea.
You do? Okay.
Absolutely. It's great for those guys. They need to be with people like this is the time to be with Jay. Jay is like, this is where he's at now. He is no longer, he's beyond WAPA. He's won that belt. He's won the belt. Like
yeah.
I mean, he was a money-making star in Japan.
Selling out Madison Square Garden.
And the United Center, single-handedly.
And Wembley.
So who better to be learning from? And I think it'll be fun. It could even, honestly, because Billy Gunn wasn't, like in canon, he was a member of Bullet Club once upon a time. So maybe that's how they get the three of them back together, because it looks like there's some dissension in the ranks with the, there might potentially be some dissension coming up because they've had some little tiffs with the Acclaimed and Billy and and being like, oh, maybe I was a bad dad after all. I mean, it would certainly be a way to advance. I think it would help the Guns a lot to work with Juice and
that. Yeah, I definitely will not argue against that. I don't know that they're ready to be in something like the Gun Club, but I do think they're a really solid tag team. I would give them, especially because I mean, even before the title, the title run that they had, they were already really solid. And so I'm not like, I don't hate them. I'm not a huge fan of theirs either way. I'm just kind of meh on them, but I think that they could potentially be really good. I personally would not have picked, especially when you look at Bullet Club in Japan and they just added Clark Connors. You know,
they've got a lot of young talent that's
now
ready
they have,
for
but they also
they're
have,
ready to go.
And now they have Dan Maloney.
Like New Japan's been training Alex Coughlin and Clark Connors and Royce Isaac and all.
Well, now they've got Coughlin
and their time now. Like
they've got Gabe Kidd and stuff like that.
So there you go. Then that's what I'm forgetting.
So then you see the Bang Bang Gang over here. They've got the Guns and somebody, and this was a comment here too, as the Gun Club joining the Bullet Club makes sense because of the name, which I saw a lot of people. Some people asked, they were like, are they in Bullet Club because their last name is Gun?
I mean, it does sell itself. I mean, it does this. I agree with everyone who said it sells itself. It really, really does. I just think that because Jay and Juice were young lions together and came up, and those two are brothers and young lions, and they're like, they need that sort of thing. And
right. That's a fair point.
I think, and Bullet Club is just the place, because what you do is you put them on the outside and they get like they're like Minoru Suzuki. You feed them to Suzuki once in a while, or
right.
And they learn to work, and they learn from two guys that know how to cut promos excellently when they are doing the stuff that they're doing. And I mean, Jay is so much stronger than anybody here realizes because they haven't been watching him in New Japan. So it's like, guys, they can give him 5 minutes or 15 minutes. He will get there because he's too good to not get over with everyone here. So it will happen. Like, I'm fine. Jay will be fine.
Jay will definitely be fine. And Brad made a point. This kind of goes back to what we were talking about with CM Punk being a fan of Jay and how their promos could be insanely good. And I agree with that. I really look forward to people who are not super familiar with Jay to see what Jay can do on the microphone, because Jay is a phenomenal promo.
I had a moment with him. I had a moment with him at an anniversary show where I realized how freaking good he was. People will have that moment. I can't wait as people go along for them to have that moment of realization where they're like, this guy, like, and he's still not that old. Like, he's not like so super old. So he's in a good headspace to be able to communicate with guys that are younger than him.
That's true. Right.
And I mean, gosh, please learn from Jay White.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're gonna learn from anybody,
by all means.
And Brad said the Gun Club as the toadies for Jay and Juice is smart. They're insane, and Juice is insane.
And it's Bullet Club, and they'll get beat up the same way, like Sweet, but they're doing what they're doing with like Jose Fujita, but like he's starting to get like good reps out of that as a result.
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing, like Jay also, I mean, Jay and Juice are so, Nikki and I were talking about how Jay and Juice play so well off of each other, because Jay is, I guess, out of the two is more straight-laced, but he also has a very dry sense of humor. And then Juice is just a wild man.
He's crazy.
So, like, you saw how he came in there after the Gun Club did that, and how he was like bouncing around the ring and the mat, and Juice is just, and we talked about it last week.
Did you see the old Juice start to come out in that Juice?
And that's
this week?
Why
did you like start to get glimpses? Yes. Like, did you have like heartwarming moments?
Yes.
Because there were moments when he was doing his thing, and I was like, people are gonna see Juice.
I'm so ready for it, because I love this Juice so much. And so because it was when I started watching NXT, I was late on NXT because of the network, and I just didn't watch it. And so I saw CJ Parker like right at the very end before he left, and I liked him. But then he went to New Japan, and I got to see Juice Robinson.
I only ever saw Juice Robinson.
I am a huge Juice Robinson fan. I love that guy, and I've been waiting for us to get, because we've gotten the funny, like, I still like one of the first promos we got from him, he forgot what city they were in. So I was like, oh my God, these people are gonna think that Juice doesn't know what he's doing, but Juice is hilarious. And then he had that great promo on Fred Rosser for their show at Resurgence. It was just, he's so good. And so I'm ready for this Juice to come out, and he's with Jay, and yes, unhinged caveman Juice is the greatest.
Yes. Yes.
He is. And I'm so ready for it. And you know what? If the Guns bring that out in him, then I will take it.
But think about what they can learn from watching that.
Yeah.
Too.
Well,
and I mean, Bullet Club is now that I understand Bullet Club, which I didn't my first couple of years of New Japan, now that I understand like the shenanigans are there for a reason, and how much they get, like, and the fact that like especially Gato and hopefully now Tony will pay them off, because their shenanigans get them in trouble and lead to great storytelling, and because you kind of have that antagonist there all the time, and you have a selection of antagonists to choose from.
Right.
That you can,
well, I mean, and then you've got Bullet Club over there.
They can feed them, like they can feed them to people as like a joke. Like those two could like get those two over by like being like, go wrestle our matches for us, little green boys.
Right. Kind of, yeah, and because like Bullet Club is in Impact too. So right now it's currently just everywhere. Kenta's there sometimes, and then ABC are the two who are there the most, is Chris Bay and Ace Austin. And so then like they have people coming in and out of it, and they always like, and you can have Kenta floating between Impact and New Japan and AEW. Kenta is so versatile that he can just fit in anywhere. But yeah, so I'm not 100% sold on the Guns yet. I do see the reasons why, but I think that they will probably prove me wrong. They will probably have me in a few weeks eating my words.
No, how about this? They have a huge opportunity before them to show us that they can be a really great tag team in the future.
Yeah, and I think that because one of my friends sent a text towards the end, and he was like, how many groups do the Guns need? Because they have kind of hopped all over the place. They haven't been able to find like the one thing, and it also brings, I guess it also makes sense with the Guns because of their ties to FTR. They still have not gotten their rematch. Juice has already, him and Jay made a Tony Schiavone sandwich, and Juice had his arm around Tony and wouldn't let him leave, and Tony looked super uncomfortable. And he's like talking all this trash to FTR, and they want the tag team titles as well. Then they've got the Guns who want their titles back, so that could be some interesting storytelling down the line. That maybe the Guns maybe Juice and Jay win the tag team titles, and maybe the Guns are like, hey, we didn't ever get our rematch, so maybe it's something up with them down the line. So
WTF.
So there could be some interesting things going on there. I'm just glad that it looks like they're gonna finally unleash Juice and let him be what. And I think he and Jay are the perfect, like you said, they're young lions. They grew up together, or they came up together in the dojo and stuff like that. And even so, the Guns have, I mean, clearly they have their dad who was in WWE, but you know, Juice was in there. CJ Parker, he was in the NXT stuff. Like, I mean, we all know the famous spot where he accidentally broke Kevin Owens' nose in their match. And even like Kevin Owens has said like that Juice is one of the best promos in the business. And so they've got that. So like not only do they have their dad, but they've got, so now they would have Juice and Jay. And I would really like to see, I think Juice and Jay versus the Acclaimed could be fun. The Acclaimed Acclaimed need to do something a little bit different. They need some kind of refocus. And so, because Juice is, it's kind of like Juice and Max Caster, and then Anthony Bowens and Jay White. Like you have the more serious of the two, and then you've got your comedian, and so that could be a lot of fun if they did some stuff with that. And then the Guns already, obviously, they've got their ties with the Acclaimed as well. So I'm looking forward to it. It could be. Maybe I have talked myself into it more now that I've talked it out.
I hope that I have helped you, realize.
Maybe I won't hate it as much as I thought. I didn't hate it. I was just like,
no, I don't think you
hate it. I just thought they were. I didn't think it was going to be Samoa Joe. Like I didn't think he was going to be joining Bullet Club, which would have been interesting.
Interesting, but unlikely.
The match announcement, and they were like, "Oh, it's Samoa Joe," and I was like, "No, I don't think Samoa Joe is joining the Bullet Club."
Yeah, probably not.
Maybe later. I don't think so though. Maybe he'll be the ROH representative.
Maybe
ROH has not, they don't have Bullet Club members in there full time yet. So maybe